Ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce and speak to Miss Diamond Diaz of Ryderz Haven.
Good evening, or hello, everyone. This is Tracy Burnett with Buzz Foundation, and welcome to another episode of All Things Community. Today we sit down with Diamond Diaz Matthews. Now, many of you know Diamond from the set. She has a lot of history, and she has a great and awesome testimony, and we're just excited to have her here chatting with us today. So, hi, Diamond. How are you?
Hey Tracy, how you doing, babe?
I'm doing good. So everybody know, of course, we're Buzz Foundation, all things community. Buzz is B.U.D.S, Bikers United to Defend Riding Safely. And we are so excited to, as we venture into this 10th year, we know that 2020 has given a lot of us some setbacks, but we're still able to come to you via web and just to share a little bit about you, about what's still going on in the community, what others are still striving to do to make sure things are better for someone else, willing to reach down and pull someone up. And that's one of the things I love about Diamond Matthews. And Diamond, so many in the community do know you by that name and that smile that is Diamond Diaz Matthews, and you have this amazing testimony. I just wanted you to take a few minutes and tell us about the woman behind the best. This who is Diamond Matthews. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh Lord, who am I? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a mother of seven, a grandmother of nine. Um, all of my sons serve in the military. Even my stepson serves in the military. Um, my daughters, they drive me crazy, but I love them. um, I'm into my dogs. I have two pit bulls, which are emotional support animals. Everybody always tries to say pit bulls are the worst. I have mine to show a difference. I was once part of Rough Riders, and I use my dogs to actually help reach the outcast children, because you have our children in our community that are labeled, the dogs are labeled. So I use those two to go together to show that, hey, everything that looks bad ain't bad. You know, I sell paparazzi. I run a trucking company. I'm a housekeeper for the Boundary. So I'm considered the boundary mama to all 500 of our residents there that reach out to me for guidance and counseling and just a word of advice or a hug here and there. So there's a lot to me. There's a lot to me.
Now, you mentioned the boundary, and I love that aspect because many people don't know it's a facility with that for college students in Greenville
Yes, the
per se,
boundary,
or for
the boundary is
everyone.
right off of Contant. We're directly across from ECU, and it is private student housing where they pay their own rent. Of course, their utilities included. But we have a security facility with security doors, gated garages, and things of that nature. It's been voted one of the best in the last 5 years. We've been there 5 years. It's been voted one of the best ones in the last 5 years, and I just kind of add the extra bonus touch. I came in there 2 years ago, and I started befriending my residents, letting them know, hey, I'm here for you. I pray for them during exams. I'm there when they break up with their boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm there for them to talk to. I'm the mom away from home. I just let them know they're not alone. This is your home. I'm a visitor here, but at the same time, I'm who you can come to. So, I go out of my way to let them know that I'm there. I feed them Friendsgiving dinner every year. I cook at home. My job pays me to stay home and cook, and I bring them a home cooked meal. I bake for them throughout the year. I spoil them. I spoil them.
I saw some pictures of that the other day. I'm like, my goodness.
Even
Cooking
the
lunch
doggies
and
get
getting
spoiled.
food. Awesome. Now, see, that's the way of being in the community, going beyond the call of duty, so to speak. I remember that connection with ECU as going out there and mentoring students who wanted to start their own business. And definitely, I applaud the stepping steps you have made with your businesses and still taking time to be that boundary mom. And so many need that in that community as well as in our entire state and local and just all the way around.
Yes.
So even when it comes to um, youth today and the other youth outside of the boundary, you have also met some youth who have um, been a part of the community or the motorcycle community you have made a great impact on. Some have
Yes.
had injured parents, some have had parents who have died of a fatality or illness, and we'll
Yep.
pick that back up in a few minutes. But that's part of that your ministry behind Riders Haven Motorcycle Ministry.
Yes,
There's
ma'am.
so many great motorcycle ministries that we deal with day in day out and have a connection with, and we're always encouraging anyone, whether you're a motorcycle ministry, a motorcycle club, or organization or business, you know, your vision and mission has to align. Your walk and talk has to align, and that's one of the great things I've seen about you guys, and so many testimonies I could give about Riders Haven, particularly with partnering and being, we call it sister organizations with
Yes.
the foundation individuals. Because once you have a kindredship and a friendship, and you have that relationship, you want to have the right relationship. So we've had years of practice of getting to know one another and know how our various organizations operate. And since you have been behind the person behind, or one of the people behind Riders Havens, I should say, and you guys do events each year. You do charity work to support the injured rider. What was the why and the vision behind that awesome ministry? I can remember the first time being sitting on the steps of the courthouse, and ladies and gentlemen, I will attach that picture later on. But what is the why and vision behind that awesome ministry? For me, I understand and know a little bit about it, but what was the why behind starting Riders Hate?
In 2014, a very dear friend of ours had a serious motorcycle accident in Greenville, North Carolina. Yvette Pieface Brown. She was hit and the rider took off. She was with club members who actually stopped the rider. Her husband got the phone call. He went to the hospital. People had reached out to do different things. We reached out and said, look, we want to do something for her. You know, you're alone now. You're trying to hold everything up. Let's help you. And at first he thought about it, he prayed about it, he called us back, he said, go ahead. So in 2 weeks' time, we put together a ride, just trying to get the community together because Pieface is known in the community. Her soul is just beautiful. You know, she just lights up everything. So we put the ride together. We had over 200 bikes come out for our very first ride. We had the media come out, and we wanted to raise awareness because the first thing you hear when a biker goes down is, I didn't see you. And my biggest thing was, if you don't see us when we're 1 and 2, you're going to see us when we're 50 to 200. You know, my dad always told me, go home or go hard or go home. So I went hard that day. But we had her come out to the courthouse steps just so that people could see her, you know, so they can know how far she's come. This is a woman who had flatlined several times. You know, her husband didn't know if she was going to make it home. You know, he just kept crying out, Lord, don't take my wife. And, you know, when you're close to somebody like that, you can feel their pain. So after we did our ride, you know, the 5 of us kind of got together and we prayed about it. We're like, what are we going to do now? You know, we did this. Do we stop? What do we do? And I'm big on unity. I'm very big on unity. I came from a club, Rough Riders, of course, in 06. They taught me about family. They taught me about unity. You know, it's not about what's on your back, but what's in your heart. And I have a passion for the community. And so I took everything that they taught me and brought it over to Riders Haven. And we said, you know what, we need this. The motorcycle community in itself has lost so much that it's not even what's important anymore. You know, they don't think about the family aspect of it. They don't think about the brotherhood and the sisterhood of it. It's always, let's party, let's go here, let's go there. That's not what we're here about. You know, we were here about unity. We were here about supporting our brothers and sisters. You know, I remember when my club sister went down, everybody in the community had Vidant full. Vidant was packed, that whole lobby from top to bottom. Everybody was there for us, you know, for my president. They were there to lean on us, you know. Spicy from Vicious Riders, she was one of the main ones that called me. You know, they were there. So nowadays, somebody goes down, you got your club there, but where's everybody else at? You know, and they tend to forget that's what we're about. So with us, it's like, we don't stop there. We don't stop just at the hospital. You know, you're going to see us. You're going to constantly see us from top to bottom, from day one to day in. And so when we prayed about it, this is what the community needed. You know, you have so many looking out for so many, but who's truly looking out for our riders? You know what I'm saying? And I'd met you that day at the courthouse step, and I was like, wow, they do what we do. This is what's needed, and that was the biggest thing. And just knowing that I had sisters out there that cared about the community the same way that I do, that, we want to be here for our fallen. We want to be here for those that are injured and the families. And, we got our blessing and we went on ahead with it, and we're 6 years in, and it's been a journey. It's been a journey, but thankful to those that pray for us, because when we do what we do, Tracy, people don't understand. It becomes personal. It's not like you can just go to the hospital and leave that there. You end up taking that home, and you have to have a strong spirit behind it. I remember when the 6 riders got hit by the tractor trailer.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And that was a hard one. You took that home. That's just something you couldn't leave right then and there. And I've adopted the 4 beautiful daughters of Networker. Been there for the babies being born, been there for the wedding, like, Serious One's mama, Frank calls her on her birthday at Christmas, he's become her new son. We don't just stop at the hospital visit. We want to let you know we're here, and that's where the community has fallen short of, is the unity. Like, what happened? And that's my biggest thing. Like, we need to get back to the unity. We need to get back to being there for people. Even when your own go down, you're there for the first year. What happens after that first year? That was still your brother. That was still your sister. You just can't forget about them. You can't forget about those that are hurting. I lost one of my dearest brothers, who was my road captain for years, Bear, and that affected me hard. And when we did our ride this year, because we took a couple of years off, I cried because my brother wasn't there. Everybody's like, what's wrong? I'm like, this is my first ride without Bear. And it hit me that my brother wasn't here for me to fuss at. My brother wasn't here with that bike that wouldn't cut on, and it just hit home. Because it's those little things that count, and people need to understand unity is a very big thing in our community, a very big thing.
I definitely want to give a shout out to those families, especially the incident that Diamond is talking about with the tractor trailer. The family, in particular, the first rider that died from that serious one, um his family helped to make it possible for another child to continue college this year with a scholarship. And that is because of the relationship such as Ryderz, Haven, and what have you, and those organizations that have showed care to them. So people want to continue to give that love back, um, as you said. And even with the riders and the community itself, like you said, we gotta make sure we maintain that unity. Whether you ride or not, it's not saying you can't support the ministry behind Riders Haven or anything else. That is so much appreciated. What Diamond is saying is just, it's the heart behind what you do. It's your heart, and that's where a lot of people don't even realize that communities like the MC community, you may see the jeans, you may see the vest, you may see what you think is a rugged look or what have you, but there's so much behind their heart. So that's where we've learned in sitting down and fellowshipping together to understand our very own mission and vision. Um, we had a great sit down at Greenville years ago. It seems like down there, and once you sit down and have that vision and have that understanding of what someone else could bring to the table, oh, it means so much. Oh, the organizations coming together, making it possible for families that lose loved ones or during the Christmas time all year long for something. I've seen where families have lost their home or someone's house had burnt down, and I've seen the rider community step right in. Someone about to look like they're about to lose their life, and we've seen the riders jam pack the hospitals and pray. And
Mm-hmm.
how awesome is it to see that type of unity where others say, "Hey, I didn't know they knew how to pray." You don't know what's behind that vest until you can get to know that person. And unity is just so awesome and diamond. So I appreciate you for sharing that. Why? And certainly I remember with Bear. It's just so happened one of my best friends worked at the car lot and talked about how just taken they were. So to Miss Rose and his beautiful daughter and his family. We're still thinking about you guys, and it does mean a lot to have individuals or organizations like Ryder Haven to share, what it means and to help someone who, for the most part, is injured through a lot of times through no fault of their own.
Yep.
Have had this organization been there for people who have been at fault? I'm pretty sure. I mean, we can speak for that as ourselves, but just to know that someone has gotten to that line of fire that was no fault of their own. I remember talking to Pieface's husband, and he shared, and Diamond, I think he shared this with you first. His basic prayer that day was, Lord, not today. Not
Mhm.
today, God.
Yep.
What a simple way to just ask God to spare my loved one's life. What a simple way to see others rally around him and pray with him. If he couldn't think of nothing else to say, that just got away with me. So at that moment, you sort of talk about Pie Face, my glasses came off. Because I remember it that day. I remember it vividly, being at the courthouse and seeing them and seeing her in that wheelchair, just knowing that it could have been the other way. And it's been dozens of families, guys, since then that we have interacted with. And that's why I just love when Diamond talks about that unity and that fellowship. And they say when you become something or when you become a part of something, it draws a connection and draws you.
Yep.
It makes you want to stick and stay no matter what, and it makes you keep going year after year. And then Diamond, you just mentioned taking some time off, but what happened during that time off of putting that event together that caused you to reflect? How does the Riders Haven motorcycle community brand or mission relate to taking that time off, reflecting, understanding your own personal values or your own values in life? Because during that time off, you also became a newlywed. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And that was one of the reasons that we took the time off, trying to prepare ourselves for the wedding. My son going into the military, just a whole lot of different changes, us moving, and it was strange because I didn't realize what an impact we had until people started saying, "Hey, when's the next ride? Hey, when are you guys going to do the next ride?" And I'm like, and our wedding came up around the same time the ride comes up. So I'm like, well, we just got married, so we're taking this time off. No, we need to do a ride, And so here recently, when I got the phone call that an old Rough Rider brother had went down, I was like, okay, it's time to do something. And he's got many testimonies besides this one here, because he had a testimony before this one. But we went on ahead and did that ride, and it just felt so good because I missed it.
Mm.
It was a void in my life as well as it was a void in theirs. But it's like you said, Tracy, when your heart is in it, and just being able to be there when people call on you. I remember Two Guns calling me because some of his supporters went down, and we dropped everything. Frank got off work, went there to the hospital. I was there at the hospital. We were there for them. And the best thing about us is we don't see color or creed. We don't care if you're a 1%er, a 99, an independent. It does not matter. Two wheels, one love. Two
You
wheels,
know
one love.
exactly, because
That's
I have
it.
gotten phone calls, yes, about, oh my God, you're helping this individual, you're helping that individual. So, excuse me, everybody, we had a little technical difference going on with, but I have things, yes, oh my, tell
I
me
mean,
that.
when you go to try to single out who you're gonna help, my thing is your heart's not in it. If you're singling out who you're gonna help, then you're not here for the right purpose. We came in with the purpose, we're gonna help two wheels, one love. It didn't matter. And that was the biggest thing, and I love it because we're neutral. So we get support from the 1%ers, we get support from the 99, we get support from the community itself, the businesses, you get support from just families in itself. But I mean, it's all, why does it have to be about what you are or who you are or who you ride with? And it shouldn't be about that, and that's the best thing about us. It's like, you can tell us you don't need us, but you never know when you're gonna need us.
Right.
You never know who you're gonna need. So sometimes that'll bite you in the butt, but it's just like, that was the biggest thing with us was like, no color, no creed, no fault of their own. We're there. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you're white, black, purple, Chinese, blue, red, it doesn't matter. I don't see color. I see a brother or sister in a time of need. You know, when you called me, Tracy, and I'll go to the hospital. I walked in, the one last gentleman I went to see, and he was like, "Are you an angel?" I was like, "You can call me that." You know, I was sent by an angel. But you know, it's just the feeling that people get when they see somebody they don't know that's thinking about them. And that's the passion of it all, you know, to make somebody smile. It's like, who are you? Who sent you? And it's like, it doesn't matter who I am, just know that I know that you're here. You know, when Francis went down from Zodiac Wheels, you know, and we found out about that. I was there. I was cooking for the wife. I was at the hospital taking her grapes. You know, there was never a moment that she was alone, you know, and I know she needed that break. And I was just kind of trying to help her ease it, like, hey, it's going to be okay. You're not alone. You know, we prayed together. We cried together. I'm here. You know, I eat Oreos and bonbons with you, whatever it takes. You're not alone.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the biggest thing about both of our organizations, that we don't see color or creed. It's unity, it's love, pure love. And that's what the community is missing, pure love.
That's so awesome. I remember another example going to Virginia for that funeral, and you were already there, and we had came in with a truckload of food to unload for the repast.
Yep.
And Diamond was going around just fellowshipping with the family, making sure everybody was okay. And that's what we mean by that follow up, because sometimes months later or a year later, where we're reaching out to say, hey, you guys good for Christmas or something like that, or just checking on you, or whether it's an inbox message or something like that, because I was the daddy's girl, and when I lost my dad, so I can understand from the wonderful brother Jefferson, for those ain't beautiful young ladies to miss their dad, and then to have babies and what have you, and granddad's not here anymore. So um, you become a part of that. We don't try to wrap ourselves up in those situations, so to speak, but you can't help but to not only minister to someone, but to see your wife every time. And Diamond, you and I talk about this time and time again. When you feel like giving up, when you feel like throwing in the towel, it's someone that will say thank you. I remember a little girl just coming up to me and saying, "Thank you for helping me get my hair done." I'm like, when did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what happened, and just to say, she got it done for her daddy, and her daddy is not here anymore, you know. Her daddy always liked to see her look pretty and what have you, so she won a couple hair appointments for free. Those are things that you love when people are able to give back to the community. That's your why, because sometimes you think, oh, I got to keep going, or that is a good reason to have testimony, to have family saying, thank you. So we appreciate that. We appreciate that ambassadorship. And there's been plenty of times that Diamond has went to the hospital in her local area for B.U.D.S Foundation, when she's like, why are you trying to be in all these places at one time? Yes, I'm telling on you, Diamond. We're here. Frank and I are here. We're here in the area. We got it. And that's what we like. We call them, that brotherhood, that sisterhood, or those ambassadors, what have you. That we love it to have individuals that would go check on families. We both have been at the hospital where a young lady had hip replacement. Took a while. She had to learn how to get back on her feet. She had to learn how to walk again. Family is nowhere around here, all in another country,
Mm-hmm.
but yet, to know that that support was there. So you just never know how much you can be. And thank you guys so much. Look, Diamond, you also serve in other various capacities with your community. And you just told us all about the boundaries, having your own business, entrepreneur here, um, working with this ministry. Now, how do you include that and balance things such as being a wife, a mom, and a nana? Because we talk about balancing, keeping a balance, because home is what we know to be the first ministry. But how do you do it?
You know, Tracy, I don't even know how I do it. It's God. It's nothing but God, and I have to give him all the praise, because not only that, and I forgot to mention another thing that I'm involved with, but I'm a board member for Economical Improvement Council, and that's the program that heads EIC, and I've been with them ever since my grandson was in EIC. So I served with them for the first 2 years, and they didn't have a Pitt County representative. And of course, I was the female pit bull. They loved the passion I had for the kids. And they were like, wait, we don't have a Pitt County representative. So I was blessed to be able to sit in the Pitt County seat, with mayors, commissioners, just all these big people that think a lot of me, that know what I do in the community. I was able to bring the motorcycle community to Head Start, the news media, for them to read to the kids, and the kids loved it. They got to sit on the motorcycles. The parents were excited, half the time I wonder how I do balance it, but you know what? It's just when you do what you love, it doesn't tire you out as much. I would say if I wasn't doing what I love, then I probably would have been through in the towel. But God keeps me going because of my passion. And with women, they always say, oh, they're so angry. It's not that we're angry. It's the passion in our voice that makes us sound like we're angry, because we're passionate about what we do and what we feel. And that's the whole aggression that you get from us. It's because we love our community. We love our people. We love what we do. And it's that love that keeps me going. That's what keeps me just in tune with every different title that I wear. I wear many crowns, and, I try to wear them well, and I try not to fall short of one or the other. I try to be the best wife I can be. I'm the best nana I can be. I'm the best boundary mama I can be. At the end of the day, it's diamond. I just let my light shine.
And that's what diamonds do.
That is.
That's what diamonds do. So we definitely appreciate that. And I do just want to ask you that, because we talk about this all the time, with those boundaries. When it comes to unity in the community, I have to ask you this, particularly when it comes to working with others and other organizations. You capped on this earlier. Is there any one thing that sticks out to you? At the end of the day, what matters most to you?
I think, like, I have to stay with unity. Unity is what matters most to me, because we're forgetting our mission. A lot of these clubs need to go back, and organizations need to go back to their mission statement and need to understand why you're here, and then practice that. Like when you're going around, and I'm a prospect for life. Every day is a learning. It's a learning day. You're never too old to learn. You have to stay learning, constantly absorbing. But you need to take these prospects and you need to show them your mission statement, and you need to drill that into your head. While you're drilling them, getting these thousands of miles, drill the mission station into their head. Let them learn that, and then focus from that. Make sure that you're living up to your mission statement, because that's technically what it's all about. You have to understand the whole unity. you know United we stand, divided we fall. And you see that in America today, with what's been going on the last 4 years. And now with the new president trying to get in the seat, we have to understand we can get a lot more done. Our motorcycle community, period, can get a lot more done if we stand united together. Stop trying to fight each other. Stop trying to outshine the next person. Come together and see how much you can accomplish.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. They talk about it's not about that a journey, but about that destination. So when you on your way to somewhere, who are you reaching? Who are you affecting? Who are you making a difference for?
Yep.
You know, you rode 1,000 miles. On that journey. Hats off to you, because I need to get on the bandwagon. But when you're doing it, what life are you affecting? How are you letting your light shine?
Yep.
It's so very important in the community. When you're fellowshipping or riding or fellowship with another person, I believe another guest has said this. Um, Dom Phillips, White Chocolate, was talking about the fellowship. If you're stopping somewhere and you're eating, how are you getting to know that person? How are you getting to know that person in your organization?
Yep.
A lot of people are going through right within your own organization. You wouldn't know it because they're afraid to share it with you, or they're afraid to tell you. And then we are brothers and sisters and being each other's keeper. It's okay to be transparent sometimes. Say, okay, I'm tired. Okay, we're gonna take a break. With Ryder's Haven, Diamond prepare for her marriage. That first ministry, if you're married in the community, your spouse is your first ministry. Not everybody else, not the club. Taking that advice, that's your ministry right there.
It
So,
is.
sometimes you got to step back, and when you step back, God just show you everything that you need to do. And so we're just thankful for organizations like you and Frank and all the wonderful members of Ryderz Haven Motorcycle Ministry that do what they do for the boundary mom, hey guys, for the community leader, everything that you've done. And like I said, I just want to have a chat with you. I think I can talk to Donna for another 30 minutes, guys, but we promised you a 30-minute segment, and that's what we're gonna do. But Donna, before we even close out, what is it you want to share on these holiday seasons? Whether they're a single person, whether they're a married person, whether they're ride motorcycles or not, is there anything that you want to share with the community at this time?
I challenge you at this time because of the pandemic that we're in. I challenge you to be a blessing to someone else. And it doesn't have to be a monetary blessing. You don't have to bless somebody with a gift. Bless somebody with your presence. Bless somebody with a prayer. Just let somebody know that somebody is thinking about them. You said traveling miles and things of that nature. I remember when we were with All Riders Radio, Tracy, and we rode 700 and some odd miles to Ohio, and just looking at the mountains. And I remember meeting a man from the Zulu MC. This man had been in his club over 70 plus years since he was 17 years old. Never wore another patch, retired from that club, um, died wearing that patch, old age, whatever. Beautiful soul, this man, just his family, the whole MC community that he came from, and I wouldn't have experienced that if I hadn't been traveling them 700 miles. But just to be a blessing to somebody like that who blessed my soul, because that's the first person I could ever say had been in a club over 50, 70 years, in that one single club. So in this time, I would have to say to definitely do some soul searching, see where you want to be in the next year, see how you can bless someone else. Just be a blessing, because in this time of need, that's what the community needs. We need all the blessings we can get.
Yeah. Reaching out and pulling somebody else up and keeping them forward.
Yes.
Where the community and the family needs that. And I know Pitt County, North Carolina, every other place that you have been effect to, you and your wonderful organization appreciates and just loves you highly, and we do too. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys heard it here. Now we're gonna bring Diamond back now, because Diamond has an episode. Diamond has a testimony. I want to say that a lot of single ladies will benefit from. Boy, it's powerful. So you just got some little of the cake mix. But we're gonna bring the icing on the cake in 2021. When we come back and talk, and we're gonna chat with all things community with Diamond, and we might be talking about how you can mind your business at the same time.
Amen.
So have no mind. Thank you for being a part of all things community. Thank you, Ryderz Haven. Thank you, Diamond and Diaz
Tracy.
Matthews. Thank your whole family, because I know Frank and that grandbaby is just waiting on you. And we appreciate you so much. So Diamond, stand by for a second. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to All Things Community.